What's up friends, Liron here, coming at you with another video. This time I'm doing the narrated version of the time-lapse painting I showed you of the pirate ship. It's gonna be still a pretty fast time-lapse-y video, but with my narration in the background. My goal with this painting was to be very free, very loose, to not feel confined, and you can already see this by the way I'm moving the brush all over. This is my initial wash, and actually it's really different from what I usually do. It's really all over the place, and I also didn't draw anything, no guidelines for now, which is also very unusual because what I usually do is, you know, draw all the pencil lines or maybe pen, but in this case I just wanted to jump straight at it, just putting in some interesting colors into the ocean, and now I'm actually adding the ship by pencil, and it's a pirate ship kind of like the one you would see in Pirates of the Caribbean. So lots of sails, like really large, big, beautiful ship. I'm actually re-recording this. I recorded one version and there was a lot of clicking and cluttering and weird noises with the microphone because I didn't do it properly. So now I'm re-recording it. Now I'm just starting to put in the brush to work here and actually painting the ship. Now just by looking at it, and I want to remind you this was actually done 2 months ago approximately, and so my style has changed greatly since. And my method of working has changed, and I can see by the way I hold the brush and the way it kind of feels to me like I'm coloring this and not drawing with the brush. You can really see this now. I'm sort of filling in the spaces, and this is something that really has changed for me recently, and I'm just able to draw with the brush as well. So it's true that you make a pencil drawing, but you also want to be able to just draw straight away with the brush the shapes you want with the minimum number of strokes of brush that you can. Okay, so with this one I really filled in the spaces, and yeah, it's a lot different. Now I'm putting in the sort of reflection shadow on the water. Now when you do wet in wet like this, meaning you wet the surface and then you put in the paint, you want to make sure that the paint you put into the wet area is thicker. This is really important, otherwise it just won't fit that well. It will push aside the water. So this is something I also got a little better with time. And now just to indicate, give some sort of a hint of where we are, where the horizon lies, I just add this rocky terrain in the distance. Now something I did really differently in the past, and just now I'm starting to understand how wrong I was about it, was actually the whole thing of the initial wash. Because what I used to do is start the first wash and create actually many different areas and not have them connected together. And just recently I started practicing and actually making sure I cover everything, like almost everything. Maybe really specific highlights are left untouched, but mostly everything is getting covered. And it just ties the whole painting together much better than you can see this here. The rocks seem a bit detached from the scene, and the reason is that I haven't covered everything with the initial wash. If I just go ahead and do blue on everything, maybe very light blue, it could bring them more into the scene. What's nice about it is that I actually used the highlights that I left, the white areas that I left, just to put in the rocks. And this is also something that's really good to do with watercolor. You kind of want to make use of what the paint does. So you can't really foresee everything, every single thing. You can work in a very controlled fashion, but even then, many times you won't have control over everything. And so what you want to do is sort of lay down that initial wash, see what the paint did, and kind of roll with it. So this is what I did here with the rocks and just the small rocky area on the right. Just adding some ropes to the ship, just to give it this more of an old ship kind of look to it. I used the rigger brush, the very thin one you saw earlier, and now I'm darkening the whole thing. Now, because I didn't work, I think, that well in the first wash, so I kind of feel like I need to go back with the brush and darken some more areas a little more, even though I already touched them and I should have hit the correct level of darkness, the correct value. So this was something I was struggling a bit with. Yeah, and now I'm adding the shadow and reflection of the rocky thing on the right, and actually I'm really close to finishing it. It was a really quick painting, so they usually take me at least an hour or an hour and a half or 2 hours. I don't know if it's something really large, but this one was really fast. I think it took like 35 or 40 minutes. Which is really nothing. Yeah. Now I'm doing something really important, darkening the area that's closer to us. With seascapes, I find that making the water darker where they're closer is really a good practice. If it's more of a grassy landscape, I usually turn it more warm and light, but in this example, in seascapes, it's really helppful to actually darken it. Just putting in some darker phthalo blue into the already wet surface, just to have it mix well. And you can see how it creates this nice effect. It gives it a bit more depth, I think. And yeah, believe it or not, I am almost done here. I'm kind of not sure what I did next. Oh yeah, the birds. So the birds are a really cool part of this. And notice how I put them close to the white that's left in the sky, just to create as strong contrast as possible. Just spreading them out really help to give the feeling of a seascape. And this is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon in another one. I'm now just taking off the tape, and basically this is it. If you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe for more awesome videos. Anyway, I'll talk to you soon. Take care.